How's it going, everyone? I am Sean Moriarty.
I'm Will ND.
And I'm Ryan, Week Zero Productions Prevel.
And this is the voice of college football Notre Dame post-game show. First things first, a reminder, the voice of college football has a new sponsor, and it is Ticket Smarter. And as you guys can see in the code or the promo posted in the comment section, you can get $10 off your order of $100 or more by using the code BIG, B-I-G, all in capital letters. And to get $20 off your order of $300 or more, use the promo code BIG, all in caps, 20. And you can use those codes as much as you like. And remember, think smarter, use Ticket Smarter. So, guys, Notre Dame comes away triumphant for the fourth straight time this season. They are officially 4-0. Final, Notre Dame 41, Central Michigan 17. And got to be honest with you, this was not the kind of game that I expected, at least score-wise.
Yeah, I thought Notre Dame, at least defensively, came out kind of slow again. It kind of reminds me of the first half we had against Tennessee State. Again, that's this kind of a theme that's starting to take over with the Marcus Freeman era, is that these teams struggle to get up emotionally for lesser opponents. We kind of turned it on in the second half, but yeah, I was thinking going to this game, Notre Dame should blow this team out, 56 to 10, maybe 56 to 7 type range, because Central Michigan is just not that good, especially with the fact that they're without their star quarterback, Bert Emanuel, who did not play in this game. Yeah, it's a little too close for comfort.
Real quick, Jaden Clay in the comment says Ryan is loud compared to you, Sean. I don't know.
Do you want to turn your mic up, Sean?
I suppose I can. I thought it was.
You sound fine to me.
I mean, I guess, Jaden, as long as you can hear all of us pretty clear, that's the main thing. Unless I should go like this and talk with a radio voice. Hello, this is Sean Moriarty on FM radio, Notre Dame 200 FM.
But hey, Will, so what did you think about it, man? Was it disappointing, the final score you thought?
I mean, I knew there's a chance that we might sleepwalk through this game, and it's just a little disappointing that we did a bit. Although, I mean, there's some positives in this game, like Tobias Merriweather getting his first touchdown of the season, Chris Tyree getting a touchdown. But overall, I mean, the defense definitely looked like they missed J.D. Bertrand a good bit. I mean, he's the captain and leader of the defense, as he was last season.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely happy that we're going to get DJ back for the big game coming up, as we'll need him, that's for sure.
I think it's kind of worrisome that we missed Bertrand that much, because I know that the communication part is key, but the guys behind him, like, let's be honest, are more physically gifted and more athletically gifted. You got Drake Bowen, Jalen Sneed. Those guys are just straight out athletes. And it kind of concerns me that they got more playing time and the defense kind of took a step back a little bit. Now, that could just be because they're young guys and they're still kind of learning the defense. But when you have guys that are as talented as Jalen Sneed and Drake Bowen, both guys who were on certain sites 5 stars, little disappointed. But go ahead, Sean.
I'll say this. I know, like, we drag, like, our linebackers a bit as a fan base, but, like, all the websites and stuff ranked our linebacker group, like, the 3 guys, like Maris, JD, and Jack, as, like, the best. That's, like, one of the top 5 best in the country. So, I mean, that makes me feel a little better about it. Even though they weren't, like, that highly recruited, they were pushed up pretty well.
Well, yeah. The one thing I just want to say, because myself, I love to get the negative stuff out of the way and then focus on the good. I even made a little short video for our channel at the Two Irish Brothers. I was frustrated. I was pissed off. I just don't know what our defense was doing. I mean, how do you? And I'm not hitting the panic button like a lot of our fans are, but our defense has to play better than this. They are a better unit than what we saw in that first half. Because because all these, I mean, it's just the lack of discipline, the penalties, the missed tackles. It was like you're getting pushed around by Central Michigan. This isn't Georgia.
Some of those penalties, Sean, were kind of questionable, like the PI on Jaden Mickey.
Oh, of course.
He didn't even touch the guy. The officials, let's just say it right out of the way, like not blaming the officials, but the officials were bad in this game. But the two roughing the passer calls were just dumb decisions. I believe Riley Mills had one where he had like 3 seconds to just pull up and not touch the quarterback, and he pushed him to the ground anyway. And it's like, come on, Riley. Like, you're the leader of our defense. What are you doing, man?
Just not thinking. It makes you wonder how much pot these guys smoked before the game. The joke. But it's just, there were times in that, especially in that first half, where we just looked absolutely lost. I'm just like, what the hell's going on? These guys are a lot better than that. And you're getting pushed around by Central Michigan. This isn't Ohio State. This isn't Alabama. This isn't Michigan or whatever big team you want to use. And I'll tell you guys this much. I know there's a lot of, the quote Notre Dame realists out there who are starting to hit the panic button and saying, oh, we're going to get killed next week and this and that and all that nonsense that you expect to hear from them. But I'm saying this much. If our defense plays like that against Ohio State, it's going to be a long night. You cannot expect to play a big team like Ohio State next week and expect to get away with missed tackles and no discipline and miscommunication and just
I don't think play. Speaking more on the defense, I think my concern going into the Ohio State game next week is, one, the defensive line. Our defensive line, I wasn't worried about it the first 3 weeks, but now I'm starting to, because it's becoming a trend. We're getting pressure on the quarterback, but we're not getting sacks. You need sacks as a defense. We got one, but we've had 5 sacks through 4 games. That's not a very good average and not a very good statistic. We need to start not only getting to the quarterback, but when we get a chance, we need to take him down. And I know part of it's kind of Navy, because Navy was kind of weird. They don't pass much, so that kind of limits your opportunities. But nevertheless, when you get a chance, you need to take advantage of it. But yeah, the defensive line needs to get better. And I don't know if that means you got to start pulling guys out. I'd like to see more Brendan Vernon, personally, myself, because that dude is an absolute one-man wrecking crew as a freshman. We haven't seen much of him, but we need to do something on the defensive line. I think our secondary is probably top 3 in the country. I'm not too worried about our secondary, but if our defensive line can't get sacks and get tackles for loss, you're gonna give your secondary doesn't matter, because if you're giving quarterbacks 5-6 seconds in the pocket, doesn't matter. You're gonna get killed.
And I will say this: they showed flashes of that, of shutting down the run, of putting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, I forget who it was that laid out Cody Bauer.
Yeah. Who was Thomas Harper? Thomas Harper, a safety. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's right. It was Thomas Harper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But all I know is how Bauer held on to that ball. I don't know, but yeah, he got laid out. So it shows that our defense has some. They can do that. They can play like that. They can get the pressure on and finish plays. They can make the tackles. But so far, it's been, for the most part, inconsistent. And if we want to beat the big boys on our schedule, we have to get consistent. We have to finish plays. And
I mean, I feel like we played so well against NC State on both sides. Like, if we just play like that, if we're like motivated. I mean, I wish the team was motivated for every game. But I feel like if we just play like that, I don't know. I'm feeling good with how we play. Like,
but I mean, Will, we had 1 sack against NC State, and that didn't come until garbage time.
I mean, yeah, but like we were still forcing like rushed throws and like not great decision making by Brandon Armstrong. I feel like Cal McCord, I mean, he's not young. He's not like a superstar quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, if we force him to make like crappy throws, our secondary is good enough that we can like pick them off. And like, I don't know. I mean, they have good receivers, but they can't make every play. So
yeah,
that does make me feel better.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm fine with. Let me put it to you this way: if we don't get any sacks, that's okay as long as we're getting like tackles for loss and shutting guys down at the line. I'm fine with that. If we're forcing turnovers, whatever the case may be, but the bottom line is you can't miss tackles. And
yeah, one thing is also we don't have that one guy that that one or two guys that are elite pass rushers like we've had in the past. Like, I mean, Javonte Jean-Baptiste has shown flashes. Joshua Burnham has shown flashes. Jordan Botelho has yet to show that flash this season. But who is going to be that Khalid Kareem, the Isaiah Foskey on this team? Who's going to be that guy that consistently gets pressure on the quarterback and wrecks drives with just one sack? Like, we need who is that guy going to be? Because we don't know who that guy is going to be yet.
No. I mean, Riley Mills has that potential for sure.
But again, like Sean, we talked about this weeks ago.
I know.
We see all the flash. We see all the flash from Riley Mills in practice. Where is that on game days?
Yes, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying he has the potential. But
yeah, dude has all types of potential. Just hasn't shown it in games.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just you don't like to see that kind of a start with the defense overall.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet, because despite all the people saying that, oh, we're doomed next week because of this. Okay, overall it was a bad performance by the defense today, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad next week. I mean, we've seen this plenty of times before where we'll have a bad game on whichever side of the ball or as a team, and they come back next week and they perform phenomenally.
I mean, look how we played against, we played terrible against Stanford. That Stanford game was a week before Clemson. And I remember everybody going to that Clemson game was, oh, Notre Dame's going to get absolutely steamrolled by Clemson. And it was the complete opposite. But I think the issue with this team, Sean, and this is something that I think has to change if Notre Dame's going to be a national championship contender every year, you got to find some way as a coach to get your players motivated to play these games. Like, you have to. This has been a thing that's just happened since Marcus Freeman has been the head coach. There's got to be some way you can get in these kids' head and just say, man, I understand we got Ohio State, but Central Michigan is good enough to come in here and beat you if you play like complete dog water.
And you don't think that Marcus Freeman has been doing that? I'm just asking. I'm not criticizing.
I don't know if maybe he's trying, but I don't know if maybe it's just Marcus Freeman's personality. He's not, the raw type of guy. I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' answers to this? I mean, it's becoming an issue.
Well, I know that they were saying during the broadcast that he was going into the locker room livid.
Oh yeah, I know he chewed the team out from what I heard.
But it's like, but you're right. I mean, he doesn't really show his anger like during a press conference or something. Of course, you'll see him on the sidelines getting pissed off and all that.
Did you hear him have a potty mouth on the sideline during the game?
No, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. He was yelling at someone and he said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Sorry, I didn't mean to say that on the live. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, yeah, we can get away with one. We got to try to keep this on this channel. We got to really.
No, I know. I completely forgot that we're on The Voice. It's my bad.
Yeah, this ain't our personal channel. We got rules to follow here.
Oh man.
But no, I'd like to think that he does. We've seen it, but I just think during obviously press conferences, he keeps his cool. He has a lot of things on his mind that he'd like to get out, but he thinks maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
But it's just as I've said a million times before, he's a good balance between players coach and disciplinarian. And you'd like to think that behind the scenes, he is getting these guys ready. And we just lost Will.
Oh, and that's the thing is, what my thing is, if I'm Marcus Freeman, I'm saying to the guys is, what have you done Like, what has this team specifically done to warrant being able to relax against any team? Have you guys won national titles? Have you guys won a New Year's Six? Have you guys? What have you guys done this season? Oh, you guys beat up NC State. Okay, cool. Like, but what have you guys done to earn the right to sleepwalk against teams?
They've done nothing to earn that right. Nothing.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. They haven't done anything, and I've said something similar to that before. It's like you guys. It's been since '88 since we won a national championship. It's been 87 since we had someone win the Heisman. It's been 94 since we last won a major bowl game. Okay, since 1994, nobody that has played for this team has the right to be talking any kind of smack, acting arrogant, acting full of themselves. Look at your track record that proves that you don't have that right. And until you change that, you don't have that right.
Yep. I mean, you can understand it with Georgia because they've won back-to-back national titles.
Yeah.
But this isn't Georgia. This isn't Georgia. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's just frustrating. Like, and here we are. We just won a game 41-17, and the mood's kind of down.
Yeah, I don't even think the mood should be down because I think the team got it together in the second half.
Well, Ryan, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just talking in generally, like with the majority of the fan base, they're down about this, and I think they think it was bad. But we just won a game 41-17, and all I know is that it's weird. It's just that shouldn't be the case.
We also scored.
We forget too with the defense. I know that's what a lot of people are upset about is how the defense played against Central Michigan. I know I was, but we're forgetting too. They got better in that second half and held them to only 3 points.
Yeah, and another thing is we also broke a Notre Dame record. First time in school history we've scored 40+ points in 5 games in a row.
You mean 4 games?
Or no, this is going back to last year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, going back to the Gator Bowl. I got you.
Yeah. And you know what's an interesting stat, and I never knew this? Notre Dame's averaging 40 points a game right now.
Yeah.
You know Notre Dame has never had a season where they've averaged 40+ points a game. Ever.
That
is insane. That is insane.
And I know people are going to say, well, it's because you played 2 weak opponents the first 2 games. Well, there's guys that have played cream puffs for the first 4 straight games and haven't done that. So
yeah, even the Notre Dame national championship teams never averaged 40 points a game and never had a streak of 5 straight games scoring 40+ points. So
yeah,
that's something to. I never knew that, and I thought that was a kind of an interesting stat that they pulled up during the game.
I didn't know that either. But I guess one thing you could put into consideration for that in regards to the teams of the past is like back in the all up until like even the early 2000s, it was a predominantly running team.
Yep.
Like they always ran the wishbone and option and so on and so forth. So the running was dominant, the passing not so much. So I think that's obviously made the big difference in that record.
For sure. Sean, I do have to go. I'm doing some family stuff, but I wanted to hop in real quick for about 20 minutes or so. But I'll leave you guys with this. I'll be at the Ohio State game. I know, Sean, I told you this. Me and the guys over at Week Zero Productions are going to be in South Bend for the matchup against Ohio State. We'll be doing our podcast live from South Bend on Thursday night. So for everyone watching, please tune into that. Go over to Week Zero Productions on YouTube. We'll be doing that. We'll also be having Notre Dame commit for the 2024 class, Logan Saldate, on as our guest picker for the week. So that'll be a lot of fun. But great game. We're 4-0. Got Ohio State booming. Let's go Irish and beat the Buckeyes.
Damn right. Take us to victory, Ryan.
Yes, sir. I'm undefeated when going to a Notre Dame game live, so.
Well, I'm feeling better about it now. That's for sure.
All right, Sean, you take care, man.
All right. See you, bud. All right, Will, are you still there or what's up? Okay, I think Will's out for now. Oh, there you are.
My bad. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
My connection died out there. I was walking back from a event with some friends, but yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not so worried about this game. Like even like watching that like documentary of the Notre Dame the '88 team. I mean, they struggled with Pitt right before Miami, and they won. So even championship teams have a downer before the big game. So.
Oh well, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
But even going back to 2012, it was ironically the same team, Pittsburgh. It took us beating them in overtime, and it took a very close missed field goal to make that happen. But we still ended up making it to the national title game that year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just myself personally watching the game today, I'm not one who's trying to panic either. But of course, it's just the thing is you don't like seeing your defense that has some phenomenal athletes on it struggling. And you know what? I think it would be best if we just stop talking about it, move on to the positives. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, because but the bottom line is you're going to have bad games, whether it's one side of the ball, the other, or both. Doesn't mean that you can't put it together. For the following game, because so everybody watching, don't be saying that we're doomed just because of today's performance. Against Ohio State next week could be a completely different story. So, But going on to the positives of today's game, let's start with the obvious. Sam Hartman doing Sam Hartman things.
It wasn't Sam's best game, but like still, I mean, he's Sam Hartman. He's freaking amazing compared to everything else we had.
Well, look at his numbers: 16-26, 330 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. And also, he has officially become the leading touchdown passer in FBS.
All right.
The
only reason I said it was 16 for 26, I would like that to be a bit better, but even so, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Like I can't complain too much.
330 yards.
Yeah.
12 yards a pass. I mean, I'll take that any day of the week. Yeah. And of course, speaking of guys doing things, Audric Estime doing Audric Estime things. 176 yards on 20 carries and 1 touchdown. Now, I would like to have seen him find the end zone a few more times, but I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's just a freaking monster. What else can you say?
Mm-hmm.
Now behind him in the running game, we didn't really get a lot from Jabron Payne or Jadarian Price
Well, Jadarian Price had the great run, but there's a holding.
Yes. Well, yes, of course. There's some plays that got called for penalties, of course, but I'm just going by the official stats.
Yeah.
But running game was dominant, but also Will, as you pointed out to start the stream, and this is what I think all of us were hoping for. Tobias Merriweather finally got some big action today. 2 catches, but 81 yards and the 75-yard touchdown reception.
Mm-hmm.
So it finally got started.
Yeah,
I was loving.
And listen, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about Tobias if he has that against Ohio State and we win the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
because if he could be like a big game player,
mm-hmm.
like even if he has like 3 catches for touchdowns, sort of like the Rocket did, because he like kind of went away in the smaller games sometimes. Like if we can just have that out of him, I'll be happy.
Yeah, but just this kid has too much talent that you got to take advantage of, and that we got to see that today. Finally, it was a start at a bigger level, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. But the one guy who has been making great strides for sure, especially since he got moved to receiver in the offseason, Chris Tyree.
Mm-hmm.
88 yards on 2 catches, 1 touchdown. I mean, to be able to make that transition and contribute like this, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You
It
can't
also,
really complain about that.
It reminds me of a famous Notre Dame player. Can you think of him?
Who got transitioned from running back to receiver?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me think. Who was it? Why am I drawing a blank? I should know this. All right, just say it. Just tell me.
Ricky Waters.
You know what? I did not know that he started as a. Well, actually, I knew he was a running back, but I didn't know
Running back to receiver, and then back to running back in the NFL.
Okay, I never knew that he was transitioned to a wide receiver at one point.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because
I watched like a lot of the old games on YouTube, and like his freshman year in '87, he was him and Tony Brooks and Mark Green all got carries at running back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize he was a transition player.
Yeah.
But all I know is it's the funny thing is someone today told and again, this is the mistake I made, but I only made it once, reading social media during the game. Somebody actually told me that they thought today's offensive performance was mediocre.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm like, really? What game? I didn't want to cuss at the guy, but I'm like, what game are you watching?
Yeah. I mean,
like,
if you
really
want to analyze it, it wasn't perfect, but still, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that performance.
Well, let's just go to the. I got the individual stats up. Let's go to the team stats here.
Okay.
We had 578 yards of total offense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where's the rest of it? 342 net yards in the passing game, 236 net in the rushing attack, no turnovers, 41 points. You're really going to say that's a mediocre performance? Why? Because we have a couple of bad series that don't go our way, or we have to punt. I can't believe that. Closing in on 600 yards of total offense, 41 points, and you call that a mediocre performance. I swear to God, dude, there are some people that just should not be allowed to watch football or be fans.
I mean, maybe they should go do what the players were going to did before the game, as you said. Maybe they just need to smoke weed and take a break, chill pill.
Yeah. And again, I want to clarify, people, that was a joke. That was just a joke. But anyway, so overall, it was a great day by the offense. So I don't know what that guy was on or what he was thinking, but all I know is we come out of there with a win, 41-17. There's really not a ton to complain about as far as the victory itself goes. So, and nobody should be feeling down about this. I mean, yeah, be disappointed because the guys didn't play the way that we thought they would and that they should. But I'm happy with winning the game and winning it pretty big.
Yeah.
Because the big positive is that team as a whole came together and woke up in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, I thought we could take this time to answer some questions or comments. Some of this is going back quite a bit. But Jackson Johnson, what's up, Fighting Irish
What's
Nation?
up, Jackson?
Jaden Clay, who's been pretty busy here in the comments. We got a lot of his stuff to get to, and we're sorry, Jaden. But he says he's watching Georgia in the background. He then said, I wanted Freeman to pull Hartman earlier than he did. It's funny that I don't know what you thought, Will, but Jaden makes an interesting Jaded, not Jaden. Jaded makes a pretty good comment here because I was kind of thinking about that myself. Like after Hartman got taken down and he had that his leg bend back, I was thinking about that too. Like, are they going to pull him for Angeli? But in my opinion, you couldn't really pull him because you're not in a comfortable lead yet. You're not in that situation.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I wish the defense played well enough that Sam could take a break. But I mean, I don't know. I still think for sure. I mean, we just do not want a Marshall situation. Like just get the win, get out of town, and stay healthy. And that's what Notre Dame did. So overall, I think it was the right decision. But if the defense was a little better, then yeah. But
we can't get out of town.
Definitely better to play it safe.
We can't get out of town because it was a home game.
Well, sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're right. Yeah.
Jaded also says Spencer Rattler, South Carolina, just looks bad. I actually have the game on here right now, and yeah, he just threw a pick. So yeah, he's not looking good right now at all. He also has a question for you. He's asking if you're on campus right now.
No, I'm not. I was just at the Oktoberfest for a bit. I was watching the game, and I was being antisocial. I was walking to the game, but I was still spending time with everyone else at Oktoberfest in Richmond.
Well, I mean, maybe he was asking if you were at Notre Dame. No, you're not.
Yeah. I will be on for the USC game. I will be in South Bend for the USC game. Me and my dad got our tickets. I'm excited about that.
I'm planning to be there as well for USC, and yeah, I'm going to bring hopefully what turns out to be my girlfriend there. But that's all I'll say about that.
All right, yeah, we could do an on-site post-game show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And we can interview other fans.
Yeah, if they want to be on camera, because not everybody does. So then let's see. This next one comes from Fred Benson, one of our longtime viewers on the Two Irish Brothers show. Any thoughts on Bama's disappointing first half at Southern Florida? Reese and Buckner look out of sync right now. Well, all I know is it doesn't look like Tyler or Tommy are performing any better at their jobs than they did here. I mean, I'm not trying to trash talk the guys, but you know, performance in the play calling doesn't lie.
Also, I don't think the position groups at Alabama are coached as well as they are at Notre Dame. So I think that also doesn't help Tommy and Tyler at all. Overall, I think Bama's just a mess. Really on both sides of the ball right now. I mean, the defense is a bit better. Their DBs aren't. I mean, their DBs got toasted by Texas, but I still think their DBs are good. But overall, I think Alabama and Clemson have a similar problem where their coaching staff just isn't as strong as it was back in 2015 and 2016. And yeah, I mean, you got to make good hires for the position coaches. That's really important. And we saw that with, especially with wide receivers before with Dell. Dell was terrible. Mm-hmm. And look at us now at wide receiver. We're so much better. So that's just shows how important position coaches are.
Yes. And also just to anybody else who showed up in the comment section, we're getting to you. We got to go back to ones that we didn't get to address earlier. Because, see, we got to start talking about the game before we can start addressing comments.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that game is I switched over to Alabama, South Florida, because I'm sure Georgia's going to pull away against South Carolina. But, yeah, it's 8:47 in the third quarter, and it's still tied at 3. But Bama just picked off a pass, so we'll see what happens. Jaded said, did Buckner start? Yes, he did.
He's not starting anymore, I believe. I heard he got pulled.
Yeah, he got. Yeah, that's what Ryan was saying, is that he got benched. Oh, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it was an interference call. Oh, no foul. They picked the flag up.
All right.
Jaded says college officials have no accountability. Yeah. He then says, I just want to see Estime doing hurdles.
That would be fun. I was at the game where, he's at the game where Logan Diggs hurdled the UVA defender. That was fun.
Yeah. So new user, Irish Domers 89 South Bend. Hartman is throwing touchdowns, and their defense hasn't gave up more points where Notre Dame has to come back to cover the defense. Now Hartman is putting up 40 points a game. That's definitely positive for sure. If we, I know, like we were saying earlier, defense kind of looked bad, but I'll say at times, but I'll say this: if we were able to hold all of our opponents to 17 points a game and put up the ridiculous amount of points that we do on our offense, I will take that any day. Ryan Haley. I wish we didn't have to blitz to get pressure on the quarterback and only bring 4. We don't have that killer DE. We were talking about that earlier, Ryan.
Yeah.
I was telling. Actually, hold on a sec. Did they? I guess they might have put the penalty on Bama. I don't know. I'm going back and forth here. But we were talking about this earlier, and we talked about this in the past. I always thought that Riley Mills has that potential to be that defensive end that can, be the next Isaiah Foskey or Justin Tuck or whoever, fill it in there. But
Jerry Tillery. Yeah.
Jerry Tillery, yes. But actually, he was a defensive tackle though, wasn't he?
Oh, my bad. I got him. Yeah. You're probably
That's all
right.
good. It's all good. But no, but Ryan made an excellent point. If he's showing it on practice, that's great. But in the game, not a whole lot. So I don't know. I don't know who that guy could be. That he's got to step up and make the plays to show us that, hey, here I am. You guys missed me. But I agree, Ryan. I wish that we don't have to blitz to get pressure every time. I mean, our front 4 should be able to get that enough. And but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Alabama, we told you so.
Yeah.
Ryan was 100% right. Yeah. Right on cue. I accidentally bumped this, but right on cue. Mark is here. Now that the tune-up is over, well, I'll say this. Now that the tune-up is over, it's time to really get down to business and concentrate on the big boys.
Yeah. They're showing a little matchup between Ben Morrison and Marvin Harrison, showing their numbers and stuff, which was fun at the end of the game.
Well, that's the thing, I said earlier in the stream that, with the way that our defense and the slow start they got off to, yeah, you can pull that off and get away with that against a smaller team like Central Michigan. But yeah, come next week, no more tune-ups.
Yeah, no more tune-up. Yeah.
You get off to a slow start next week, and I'm not saying we're going to lose, because I'm not that kind of fan. I'm not going to be the quote realist that just is doom and gloom on the team all the time when things don't go how they wanted it to. But Ohio State's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
they're going to take advantage of that slow start, and we're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a slow start against NC State, so the defense I thought was really good against NC State. So if they just play like they did against NC State, the team will be in the game till the end.
Yeah, I mean, and I have confidence in this team that they can get it done. I mean, I don't guarantee anything, but I'm very confident that they can. Because we are a much improved team from I think who said that earlier? That somebody said it earlier that
I can try to bring it up.
It might have been Jaded.
I'm pretty sure it was Jaded Clay. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not the same team that we were a year ago. We are a much improved team.
Yeah. He said, as a realist, I think we will win just because Ohio State isn't that good. Well, and then he said, correction, they are good, but they haven't improved since last year, and we have.
Well, the thing is, okay, pessimist and realist are two things. I am a realist. Well, see, Jaded, I don't know how much you've watched us on here or on our other show, but see, when I say that somebody is a quote realist, I'm talking about the ones in our fan base that are always doom and gloom and always expect the worst and never give any have any faith in the team whatsoever. So in other words, when they say realist, that just means they're a fake fan. Like if put it this way, if you say that your team is going to just lose to somebody from the start before the game's even played, that's what a realist is. They have no faith in the team whatsoever to win.
The only time I had no faith in the team was the 2020 Alabama game. That was really the only time.
And that's the thing. That's when it all started. That's when I started hearing the word realist more in 1 month than I ever have in my whole life.
Yeah.
Like nobody gave that team a chance at all to win. And even though a loss is a loss, it's not like they blew us out like back in 2012.
Yeah.
I mean, because we had that talent that, especially on defense, that did keep us in that game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, you had everybody saying like, "Oh, well, no, it's because Saban took his foot off the gas. He showed you mercy." No, that's bullcrap because Saban shows nobody mercy. He's not gonna take his foot off the gas.
Mm-hmm.
So, So anyway, Jaded, that's my definition of a realist is basically a fake fan who has no faith in his team, and it's like they shouldn't be there rooting for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's see. Mark says Ohio State was one of the top 2 to 3 teams last year, and Indy was top 20. So there did need to be decline on one side and improvement on the other. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
True. He had another one that I missed. Okay, here it is. Yeah, nobody should guarantee anything on either side. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go back and check that out. I don't remember that. I thought it was like 28 to I thought it was like 28 to 14 or something sometime in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is we didn't get quote unquote blown out. It wasn't like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. A loss is still a loss, even if it was by 1 point. Jaded Clay says, at the beginning of the season, I had no hope for the season because I have Kelly scars. I got hope when we started proving it. I understand that. I understand. But, something I got to say, and this is nothing towards you personally, Jaded, but as a Notre Dame fan and in our whole fan base, we need to let Kelly go.
Yeah.
Let him go. I mean,
I can't. I don't know. It's hard. That's hard for me. That's hard for me, Sean. I know I should. But
the thing is, though, you can't change it. He left in the middle of the night. He bolted town like a coward. But it's like if we keep dwelling on it, then it's going to take over forever, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
But it's like we ended up getting what we wanted. We wanted a guy who could, actually be a player's coach to this team, and Kelly obviously wasn't that. So I'm not saying good riddance, Kelly, but it's like, guys, he left. He's with another team. We can't do anything about it. Move on from it. Focus on what we have. Focus on the people who want to be here.
It was just frustrating because I felt like he didn't give his full effort to Notre Dame at the end of his career here.
Well, I mean, obviously he was showing how he really felt. He felt that he didn't want to do the work. That's what it was. He was pissed off that he actually had to, go out and recruit.
Boo-hoo, I got to go out on my private jet. Like,
yeah. He figures, and this part is true. In the South, that's where that's the creme de la creme when it comes to football. That the talent down there is unbelievable, but I'm just stating the obvious. It's like, gee, Sean, tell us something we don't already know. But he wanted the easier path. The talent's right there in his own backyard. It's less challenging to recruit for an LSU than it is Notre Dame. So they offered him the money too, and let's face it, who's not going to chase the money?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just frustrated me that he didn't fully embrace Notre Dame as well. And that's another thing that I love about Marcus Freeman is that he does. Like, he goes to the other sports. He supports those teams as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been at the basketball games. I think, he was at hockey. I know that. I can't remember if he was at the baseball games, but I think he
was at the lacrosse national championship game.
Yeah, he was. That's right. That was one I was forgetting. He was there. We got the right kind of coach in here that we need. Someone who can be that balance between players, coach, and disciplinarian. Mm-hmm. So, but But also another thing too, he's playing his alma mater next week. He's playing against his alma mater, and he's all Notre Dame for this. So yeah, what more do I need to say? I mean, he's even though I'm sure he has fond memories of going to school there, he's going to want to come out next week and beat them.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he's left his Buckeye ties away and is all in on the Fighting Irish.
But all I know is it's I'm kind of running of stuff to talk about as far as the game today goes. But the only thing I can say is this: inconsistent play by the defense, but we got it done. And we came out with a big victory, and that's something I'm never going to complain about. But again, like I said earlier, everybody who is all worried about next week, don't. Because that's the thing. It's different from game to game. And right, you, me, and Ryan were talking about this when he was still here. You could have a bad game one week, but then next week it's completely different.
I mean, no one's going to remember, especially because we won the game. No one's going to remember this game if Notre Dame wins. No one's going to care about what happened against Central Michigan. And if you do, you're kind of a loser for that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like the guy I told you about that said the offense played mediocre today. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? But the only concern that I have, and I've said this a million times, and I'll keep saying it till I see otherwise, is what's our stadium going to look like next week?
I think it's going to be at least 85% Notre Dame.
I would hope so.
Yeah. It would be worse if we would have lost any of the first 4 games, but we didn't. The Irish won all the games, so I believe it'll be very pro ND.
See, I'm just honestly not sure. I'm really not sure because we were winning back in 2000 against Nebraska. We were winning around the time when Georgia came to town, and people were still selling their tickets.
Well, not to this level. I mean, we weren't winning and looking this good back then.
No, but still in that 2000 season when it was still 11 games, an 11-game regular season, we still went 9-2. 2017, we still went 10-3. And I know what you're saying though. I get it. But it's like
99, weren't we like 5-7? And weren't we? And we were 4-8 and 4-8 in 2016. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the fans have so much more hope coming into this season than they did in 2000 and in 2017.
Well, I'm just saying though, the point is, it doesn't matter what we did the year before. If you love your team, you come in and you support them and you don't sell them out. Because, I mean, all these big programs, I mean, obviously Ohio State's had some rough seasons. Alabama, before Saban got there, they were an absolute mess. Georgia's had some mediocre seasons. Those fans don't sell their team out. But when a big game for us comes to town, we sell our tickets. And I think that's a disgrace. And I can't say that enough. It's like, it just shows that it's not about, and I've heard so many excuses from people like, oh, maybe it was because they need to pay their rent or they need to buy food for their kids or something like that. No, if you have a ticket to any of these big games, you're not suffering financially. Or another one that I heard was, oh, well, the team has to prove something to them for them to not sell their tickets. Well, you know what? If the team has to prove something to you so that you won't be a sellout, even if they're winning, then get the hell out of the fan base. Go cheer for somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I go on these rants, but I think about it and it pisses me off. It's like, I just wish they just say it. You want the money. Just say you want the money, and I really don't care. That's what they need to say. Just tell the truth. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have very strong faith that it will be the packed full of Notre Dame fans. I'll be very shocked and disappointed if it's not.
Well, I'll just say this. I want to be wrong. Yeah. I want to be wrong. I pray that I'm wrong next week. When I see that stadium and it's majority green and the fans are going nuts, I will be like, you know what, Lord, thank you that I was wrong for this one. I'm so happy to be wrong.
I mean, the feel is just so different from, like, as soon as we got Sam Hartman, the feeling has been the complete opposite going into this season than in 2017. So.
Well, you know, the funny thing
I mean,
is,
it does suck that the feeling has to be good for fans not to sell their tickets. But.
Well, my thing is, and we've talked about this in different videos on Ben and I on our show. It's like if you can't go, we understand that things come up. Okay, stuff for everybody comes up where, you know, you have tickets to something, you can't go, you have to, you know, unload them. I get that. Why can't you at least sell to another Notre Dame fan? That's something I've never understood.
That's a good point. I've heard that on other shows as well. It's a very valid point.
Yeah. So it's like you can do that, but yet why are you just going to unload it to someone from the other team? Just because, you know, because I'm sure there's other Notre Dame fans who would be lining up to buy those tickets.
I mean, maybe they ask them and they are. I don't know. Maybe they ask them and they lie, but. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I do remember somebody saying that a while ago that you see that this actually has happened where you see people having a shirt of, you know, where you have an away fan with a shirt or a hat or something of the home team and they pose themselves. I do remember somebody saying that. I don't know how many people actually do that, but you know, if it's happened, it's happened.
This is the most excited I think I've been for a big game.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
Since
the 2012 game. Since the 2012 Bama game.
Yeah. The last game I was excited for was when Clemson came to South Bend in 2020. And I don't care what people say. I don't care that it wasn't Trevor Lawrence or who else were they missing that game?
Were they missing a bunch of D linemen, I think.
Yeah, Clemson was missing a lot of guys. But you know what people forget? We were missing a lot of guys too that game that were hurt. Yeah. But the thing is, I was still excited for that game. Clemson, they at that time they proved that they can recruit at a very high level. So why should that not be just as exciting just because you know Trevor Lawrence wasn't in? Mm-hmm. You know, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I'm going into this game with like a lot of confidence compared to like any other big game. Probably the most confidence I've come into with a big game that we can actually do it. Like last year, I was kind of fake confident, to be honest. But this year, I don't know. I'm like fully confident that we will win this game, or we will definitely not get blown out.
Well, I can't remember if I posted this comment or not already, but Jaded Clay said in regards to Ohio State, correction, they are good, but they haven't improved since last year, and we have. Mm-hmm. Did I post that already?
Anyway. I mean, I said it. I read it, the comment out.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to that real quick. You know, maybe that's the case. I know that Ohio State's playing with with a freshman quarterback, but that kid still has a lot of weapons around him. So I'm certainly not going to disrespect Ohio State. They're still a good team, but I get where Jaded's coming from here. You know, there's some things that we can take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And then let's see. And then he said this. Also, there's that Ohio State shadow we played in this week. It's hard to play without thinking of the big game next week. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's got a point. But anyway, we've only got a few minutes left. But all I know is the big game has arrived. It's that week, and you know to win this one, we're gonna have to really buckle down, man. This is our chance. Next week is our chance to prove a lot of people wrong, especially even ones in our own fan base that don't have the faith.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I mean, I feel like a lot of people do feel like we can win this game just with how we've looked and how Ohio State's looked. So, like, I feel like at least like no one's like shutting me down that we can win, can't win.
Well, all I know is there's actually a couple different reasons that I really want us to win this game, and it's not just because Notre Dame's my team and I'm a fan and I want them to win. Of course, that's obvious, but there is don't get me wrong. I've met several Buckeye fans who are good people. But it's funny. I just got a private message today from an Ohio State fan that suggested that my mother should perform a sex act on an actual Buckeye nut. So it's like, so I see, I get stuff like that. And I've heard experiences from other people. I mean, hey, Ben, I don't know if he said this on the show yet or not, but he lived in Columbus for I forget how many years.
Yeah.
So being a Notre Dame fan and him having to put up with that harassment all the time of people that take it way too damn serious. Yeah, those are the people that you hope the Irish win so you can really stick it to them.
Yeah, I mean, even my buddy Tim, who helps host the USC show, he says Notre Dame fans are by far better people than Michigan and Ohio State because he's been to a bunch of Rose Bowls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can
like he was running out. If you remember that 2009 game with Barkley, he was like running out of Ohio Stadium because like people were so angry at him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you could also, it's funny. You could also add Michigan State to that list too, because a lot of those fans, and again, same with any other fan base. I've met a lot of good people in their fan base too, but there are so many of them that are in that fan base that are so arrogant and full of themselves.
How are they arrogant? They're Michigan State.
Well, it's like, yeah, exactly. Well, my point is, aside from 2 major bowl wins and 1 playoff appearance, what really have they? Okay, I guess they've done more than us.
Yeah,
but really,
have they?
Well, let's see.
I mean, yes, they've won 1 Rose Bowl.
They won 1 Rose Bowl. They won
that game against Baylor.
They won a cotton. Yeah, that was the Cotton Bowl. And then they had 1 playoff appearance where they got blown out by I think it was Georgia,
Alabama.
It was Alabama. Okay, I knew it was an SEC school, but yeah. So yeah, I guess by winning these big bowl games,
I mean,
they've done more than us.
We've been to like a championship game and another playoff appearance, so I feel like that cancels it out. But,
yeah,
and we're way more consistent than they are.
But just their arrogance astonishes me because it's like, what the hell have you guys done in the last 30 years? I mean, really, what have you done to be that arrogant?
Yeah. What have you done the past 50-something years where they tied us?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, my dad told me about that, and he remembers watching that, and there was I guess a lousy pass interference call at the end that screwed it up for us, and it was just a horrible, horrible call.
Yeah.
But I guess we do have a couple of comments here that we can finish up on, because I think the hour is a minimum. Jaded Clay says, I find that Buckeye fans are generally good sportsmen, unlike a lot of Bama, Michigan, USC, FSU, etc. fans. Yeah, I guess I could see where he's coming from, but it's like I said, I've met a lot of good people from all those fan bases.
Yeah.
So there are exceptions. Oh, he posted this twice. Okay, I thought there were two other comments. But yeah, I just another opportunity for us next week to really get things going, and I think we win next week. That's going to give us a crap load of momentum.
For sure.
So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I think this is probably going to be a good place to wrap it up. Unless you guys start flooding in the comments, I'm out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, let's just get this game going. Who knows? Maybe we can do a video with the Ohio State post-game people previewing the game. That'll be fun. But let's just beat the freaking Buckeyes, man. Let's shut their fan base up.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot this past week. And also, anybody who's following, Alabama's now leading Southern Florida 10-3.
Very impressive, but
so yeah, I guess Yeah, this guy always comes in and just says thanks. That's pretty much it.
Well, I'm happy he enjoys our show.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, is it a bot account? I mean, because you see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let me just say this real quick. There's a Facebook group that I help run. Notre Dame Nation Fight of the Irish. That's what it's called. We have everybody, or not everybody. We have a few of these people where their only comments are "good luck." That's all they say is "good luck." I could say.
Oh, well, he's not. No, he's not. He's not. He
Okay.
just comment.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, CW. I apologize. But it's like, but what I'm getting at is I see all these comments that are just good luck. That's all they say, good luck.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, man, we're looking good today. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a bowl of cereal for breakfast. Good luck. Good luck to what?
Yeah.
So that has bot account written all over it.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess this is a good stopping point. So, Will, good show. And I just hope at this time week, I hope at this time next week we're celebrating an Irish victory over the Buckeyes.
100%.
So
100%. And are you going to do another live show this week? I saw you did one last week. I popped in and I didn't know about it.
Well, I did that because our Ben and I, our friend George, I asked him if he wanted to do one. That was kind of a last minute thing.
Okay.
But I could, I mean, Ben, he works nights, so he's not able to be there during the evening. But yeah, I could do one during the evening if you wanted to do one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just hoping we can do one here. That'd be cool. But
okay. Yeah.
with the Ohio State show, I could tweet at them to see if we can make it happen.
Okay. Yeah. If they're available during the week, we could work something out. But yeah, we can just stay in touch about that, see what they want to do, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with that said, everyone, I'm Sean Moriarty.
I'm Will Andy.
And this has been the Voice of College Football Notre Dame postgame show. God bless. Good night. Go Irish and beat Buckeyes.
Beat the Buckeyes.